This is literally the best weapon in Minecraft. It deals 9 hearts of damage in a single hit, including a whole bunch of splash damage that will melt entire hordes of enemies in mere seconds. Here is everything you need to know about the rocket launcher. First, let's go over how to make this OP weapon. We're going to start off with a regular crossbow as the base, but instead of using arrows as ammunition like you would usually, we're going to load this thing with fireworks, and I mean the most explosive, supercharged fireworks you can make in the game. These are going to be our rockets. But to make the fireworks, you'll first need to make some firework stars. The way we're going to craft these is with fire charges, gunpowder, and some dye of any kind. The fire charges in this recipe are going to increase the explosion radius of the fireworks so we can get that sweet splash damage when we fire at our targets. The gunpowder makes it explode, of course, and the dye will simply control the color of the explosion. You can use any color you want, really. I like to use orange because it's super easy to see pretty much anywhere you are, plus it actually looks like fiery sparks are flying everywhere when it hits something, which looks super awesome. But for ultimate convenience, I would say either use white or red dye. White dye, you can just get that from bone meal, so of course multiple easy ways to get that, killing skeletons, composters, etc. But red dye is also another great alternative, because all you need to do is find a rose bush in a forest or something, and if you just bone meal that over and over again, you can just keep duplicating that flower. Yes, it does work like that, and you can use all of those duplicated flowers to craft a bunch of red dye. So in this firework star recipe, gunpowder and dye are pretty easy to get. Fire charges, though, are crafted with blaze powder, coal, and gunpowder, so you'll have to pay a visit to a nether fortress and fight some blazes. Wither skeletons in the fortress also drop coal as well, so you can potentially get both in one trip, and of course the gunpowder comes from just killing a bunch of creepers. Once you craft the firework star, it should read large ball and the dye that you picked for it. Craft as many of these firework stars as you can so we can make as much ammunition as we can for the rocket launcher. Now we're gonna get to crafting the fireworks themselves. You'll need some more gunpowder and paper for this. You can get paper really easily from sugarcane crops. These are farmable and you can find them in a lot of places, mainly near rivers though. For the fireworks, the way you want to craft these is put some paper in one slot of the crafting table, put some gunpowder in another slot of the crafting table, and then with your firework stars, spread them out across the remaining 7 slots as evenly as possible, just like this. Keep crafting the fireworks until one or more of these slots becomes empty, then stop crafting, because from that point you're crafting way less effective rockets. This method for crafting the fireworks gives you the most damage that you can achieve with them, but when using these rockets for your crossbow, they do have pretty mid-range. Not horrible, but sometimes the lack of range can definitely be noticeable. So it depends. If you're someone who wants more range on these fireworks while slightly sacrificing the damage, all you need to do is change 1 or 2 more of these crafting slots to more gunpowder instead. Now the fireworks will go a much further distance and you can snipe at enemies super far away. It really depends on whether you prefer the range or the extra damage though, up to you. So now we have the perfect ammunition for our rocket launcher. However, we're still not done yet. We need to make some really important tweaks to the main weapon itself. Yes, I'm talking about the crossbow. We're going to add a few enchantments to it to really maximize the effectiveness of the fireworks. First of all, we got Quick Charge 3. This enchantment will significantly decrease the reload time of our weapon so that you can fire rockets much more rapidly. This makes it much more effective, especially in fast-paced combat situations. After that, you also want to add a multi-shot. On a regular crossbow, this will make the crossbow fire 3 arrows as opposed to 1 with no additional cost to your ammo. It basically has the same effect on your rocket launcher, but on this weapon, the extra 2 rockets that have fired have the added benefit of significantly increasing the rocket launcher's splash damage, and at this point, at close ranges, you basically don't even have to try to aim the weapon whatsoever. The last 2 enchantments we'll add are Unbreaking and Mending. These are purely for durability, since the crossbow can lose durability pretty quickly, especially if you're using this weapon frequently. So Unbreaking will prevent it from taking as much durability taking damage, while mending will allow you to easily repair the bow with XP orbs if you ever need to. Now here are some really important facts about this weapon you should know before you start using it. First of all, you don't want to use these things when your enemy is too close. The rockets can damage you as well, and they do a lot of damage. This is not a regular bow and arrow, alright? You're firing exploding rockets. There also seems to be this myth that the damage that the rockets deal are dependent on your game's difficulty. This is just not true at all. The fireworks do the same damage regardless of your difficulty. If you're on hardcore, you don't need to worry about this, but if you're playing on a regular world, you can even keep your game difficulty on peaceful and it will work just as well. Once again, if you opted for the extra damage fireworks, these things will do 9 hearts of damage in a single hit with splash damage. If you opted for the extra range, it will do around 7 to 8 hearts, still very respectable, especially considering fireworks are way easier to aim than arrows are from range. If you guys did enjoy this video, then please consider dropping a like and a sub, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.